Welcome to cell division via mitosis, the way most cells divide. So, mitosis only happens in diploid cells, which are cells that have 46 chromosomes, which are organized into 23 pairs. It's really just any cell that isn't an egg or a sperm. The first phase of cell division is separated into three steps, G1, S, and G2. The first step, G1, is where the cell is just sitting and gaining mass. The second step, S, is where all the DNA inside the chromatin, which is inside the nucleus, all the genetic information that tells the cell what to do, duplicates itself. The third phase, G2, is, as you can probably guess, just another growth phase. Now that we've covered that, it's probably worth looking into what a chromosome is and what it looks like. So there's a centromere, and it's green in this photo, and it's a bundle of proteins that holds two identical chromosomes together. These chromosomes actually have a name while they're in this formation, but we'll get to that later. The next important part of a chromosome is called the kinetochore, and it's where microtubules and spindle fibers attach to the chromosome so that they can move it around and pull it apart when they need to. We'll get into those even later. Earlier, I had mentioned that these chromosomes that were attached together had a special name. Here it is. They're called sister chromatids, and each of them are an exact copy of the other. Now that we've covered that, let's move on to the next phase of cell division. This one's called the prophase. A lot happens here. First, the chromatin condenses in on itself. The chromatin is where all the DNA is, and it gets into these tiny little neat packages of chromosomes. The nuclear envelope also disappears, and the nuclear envelope is what keeps all the DNA and stuff together. Once the nuclear envelope disappears, centrioles can combine together to form two centrosomes. These two centrosomes go to polar, or opposite sides of the cell. These centrosomes are attached to microtubules, which on the other end are attached to the kinetochores of the chromosomes. Once the centrosomes have made it to their respective sides of the cell, they start moving the chromosomes into a neat little line in the middle of the cell instead of a real messy jumble all over the place. That's the second stage of mitosis, called the metaphase. The sister chromatids being pulled apart into chromosomes is the third phase of mitosis, called the anaphase. Motor protons holding the sister chromatids together pull really hard on the microtubules, and then they break apart. So then they follow the microtubules up until they reach the centrosomes. Now comes the last stage of mitosis, the telophase, where the nuclear membrane reconstructs around the chromosomes, and the chromosomes unwind back into chromatin. Now that mitosis is finished, the last stage of cell division, called cytokinesis, can take place. This is where the cytoplasm pinches together and a new cell membrane forms, and now there's just two new daughter cells.